Every single one of us is playing a game with money and life, whether we realize it or not. The question is, which game are you playing? For some, it's the poverty game, trapped in survival, working hard but going nowhere. For others, it's the comfort game, safe enough to get by but stuck in mediocrity, mistaking stability for success. And then there are those who break through into the wealth game, where assets grow, opportunities multiply, and freedom becomes reality. But here's the truth. You don't stumble into the right game. You choose it. And today we're going to break down all three: poverty, comfort, and wealth, so you can see clearly where you are, where you want to be, and what it takes to get there. Because the game doesn't stop just because you ignore it. The question is, are you going to keep playing to survive, or finally start playing to win? Let's talk about the poverty game. This is where too many people live, trapped in survival mode, paycheck to paycheck, no margin, no breathing room, no freedom. Every dollar that comes in is already gone. Bills, rent, groceries, credit cards, afterpay. And just when you think you're catching up, something else hits. The car breaks down, the kids need new uniforms, an unexpected bill drops in your inbox, and the cycle repeats. The poverty game is exhausting. It's a treadmill. You're running hard, sweating, burning energy, but you're not moving forward. And here's the hard truth. It's not just about money. It's about mindset. See, when you're stuck in poverty, you make decisions for survival, not for success. You're chasing short-term comfort, the Uber Eats meal, the weekend splurge, the quick fix. But those choices chain you to the very situation you're trying to escape. You sacrifice tomorrow for today. You trade the future for the present, and you tell yourself stories like, well, I'll always be broke. People like me don't get ahead. The system is against me. Those aren't just thoughts, they're prisons. And here's the part that hurts. Working hard doesn't automatically free you. Some of the hardest working people are still stuck in the poverty game because they've confused activity with progress. They're doing two jobs, overtime, extra shifts, but without assets, without a strategy, without a bigger vision. They're just working harder to stay broke. That's not freedom. That's slavery with a pay slip. Now listen, if this is you, I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to wake you up, because there's a way out. The first step is to see the game for what it is. Poverty isn't just a bank balance. It's a cycle of instant gratification, short-term thinking, and limiting beliefs. And nothing changes until you do. You've got to shift from asking, how do I survive this week, to asking, how do I build a life I don't need to escape from? That means tightening up your spending, cutting out what doesn't serve you, saying no to the small comforts that keep you stuck. It means rewiring your habits, swapping Netflix for learning, swapping impulse for intention, swapping complaining for creating. And it means surrounding yourself with people who are climbing, not people who are stuck at the bottom trying to drag you back down. Because here's the truth. Poverty isn't just financial, it's cultural. It's contagious. If you spend enough time around people who think small, who live small, who settle for small, you'll shrink to fit. But if you put yourself in rooms where people are playing bigger games, the comfort game, the wealth game, your vision expands. And once you've seen what's possible, you can't go back. So here's my challenge to you. If you feel stuck, if you feel trapped, if you feel like life is just bills, stress, and survival, don't accept it as your story. You're not destined for poverty. You're capable of more. But it starts with a decision. I refuse to keep playing this game. You can't win the poverty game. It only drains you. The only way to win is to stop playing. This is your wake-up call. It's time to get off the treadmill. It's time to break the cycle. It's time to start climbing toward the next game alone. If poverty is the game of survival, then comfort is the game of settling. And let me tell you something straight, right? The comfort game is the most dangerous place you can be. See, in poverty, the pain is obvious. You feel it every day. The bills, the pressure, the stress, the fear. In poverty, you know you need to change. But in comfort, comfort whispers, you're fine. You've made it. Just relax. That's the lie of comfort. It convinces you that good enough is actually good. And slowly, without you even noticing, your dreams shrink to match your environment. Maybe you've got a stable job, a house, a car that runs, a couple of holidays here and there. You're not desperate anymore. You're not stressed about survival, but deep down, you know you're coasting. Because comfort is not the top of the mountain. Comfort is the base camp where too many people unpack their bags and decide to stay. They say things like, wait, why risk it? I'm doing okay. I don't need to be wealthy. I just need to be comfortable. This is enough for me. But here's the problem. Comfort feels safe until it isn't. Jobs change, markets shift, inflation rises, unexpected crises hit, and the people who thought they were safe suddenly realize they built their life on sand. Because comfort is fragile. It doesn't create freedom. It doesn't protect you. It just gives you the illusion of security until life tests it. And if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That sinking feeling when one financial hit wipes out months of progress. That moment when you realize you've been standing still while everyone else kept climbing. That voice in the back of your head that says, is this it? Is this all I'm going to do with my life? Here's the truth. Comfort is a trap. It keeps you busy enough to feel productive, but not challenged enough to grow. It convinces you that small wins are big victories, when in reality, they're just distractions from the bigger game. Comfort tricks you into playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And you can't build legacy from a place of fear. The comfort game feels better than poverty, but it's still not freedom, because real freedom is wealth. Real freedom is when your money works harder than you do. When your assets provide stability, your choices are wide open, and your time belongs to you. So let me challenge you. Don't confuse being comfortable with being successful. Don't let good enough rob you of great. Don't build a life that looks safe on the outside, but is fragile on the inside. The comfort game will always cost you more than you think. Because while you're settling, someone else is climbing. And the longer you stay here, the harder it gets to leave. So ask yourself honestly, am I climbing or am I just camping? Am I building wealth or am I just protecting comfort? Because the comfort game is not the destination. It's a detour. It's a resting place, but it was never meant to be your home. The climb continues and the wealth game is waiting. If poverty is the game of survival and comfort is the game of settling, then wealth is the game of winning. This is where the climb finally pays off. Where the years of sacrifice, the discipline, the focus, the decisions that felt heavy at the time, all start to work in your favor. Because in the wealth game, the rules shift. You're no longer working harder just to keep up. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You're no longer just trying to protect what little you've got. Now your money works harder than you do. Assets replace wages. Opportunities chase you instead of the other way around. And time, your most valuable resource, finally belongs to you again. But let's get one thing clear. The wealth game isn't about flashy cars, designer labels, or showing off. That's not wealth. That's ego with a credit card. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is control over your time. Wealth is choice. It's being able to say, I don't have to take that job if it doesn't align with my values. I can take my family on that trip and not stress about the bill. I can invest in opportunities that matter because I've built a foundation strong enough to handle it. That's real wealth. Here's the difference. When you're in the poverty game, every decision is emotional. It's about survival. When you're in the comfort game, every decision is cautious. It's about not losing what you've got. But in the wealth game, every decision is strategic. It's about the long term. It's about legacy. It's about multiplying the effort you've already made. Wealth players don't think in days or weeks. They think in decades. They understand compounding. They know the small, consistent moves today create massive outcomes tomorrow. But the wealth game isn't just financial. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. It's living from a place of abundance, not scarcity. It's the belief that more opportunities are everywhere. Problems are solvable. Failure is just feedback. When you're playing the wealth game, your mindset is your greatest asset, because anyone can win the lottery. Anyone can inherit money. But if you don't have the wealth mindset, you'll lose it just as quickly. That's why people go broke after a windfall. They had wealth in their hand, but poverty in their head. So what does the wealth game demand of you? It demands consistency. It demands vision. It demands that you keep building, even when you don't need to anymore. Because wealth isn't the end. It's a foundation for everything else you want to build. Freedom, legacy, impact. And the best part? When you're in the wealth game, you're no longer climbing just for yourself. You're climbing for your kids, your grandkids, your community, your culture. Your wealth outlives you. So let me ask you, are you still trapped in survival? Are you settling for comfort? Or are you finally ready to play to win? Because wealth isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's built by ordinary people who make extraordinary decisions, people who choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure, people who keep climbing when others stop. This is the game worth playing. This is the game that changes everything. This is the wealth game. We've walked through the three games. The poverty game, where you're trapped in survival, working hard but going nowhere. The comfort game, where you're safe enough to breathe but stuck in mediocrity, mistaking stability for success. And the wealth game, where you're finally free because your assets work harder than you do and your choices open up. But now comes the most important part. Which game are you actually playing? Because here's the truth. Every single one of us is on the board. You don't get to sit this one out. You're either in poverty, in comfort, or in wealth, right now. And if you're honest, you know exactly where you are. You feel it. You see it in your bank account, in your habits, in your decisions, in the way you wake up each morning. So let me ask you directly, are you surviving? Are you settling? Or are you winning? Here's what you need to understand. The game doesn't change until you change. You can't think like a poverty player and expect wealth. You can't cling to comfort and expect growth. You can't keep saying one day and expect tomorrow to magically look different. The only way forward is to make a choice. To say, I refuse to keep playing the game I'm in. I'm choosing a new one. Because the poverty game will keep you trapped until you decide enough is enough. The comfort game will lull you to sleep until you decide to wake up. And the wealth game will always be waiting, but only for those who deliberately step into it. Here's the beautiful thing. You're not locked in forever. The game you're playing today doesn't have to be the game you're playing tomorrow. Your story can shift. Your strategy can shift. Your entire life can shift, but only if you do. And the shift starts with decisions. Not massive leaps, but daily choices. Choosing to save instead of spend. Choosing to invest instead of consume. Choosing to learn instead of scroll. Choosing to sacrifice now for freedom later. Every decision is a move on the board. Every move takes you closer to one game or another. So stop drifting. Stop letting life make the moves for you. Stop playing on autopilot. Choose. So here's the question that wraps it all up. What game do you want to play? Do you want to stay in a poverty, repeating the same cycles year after year? Do you want to stay in comfort, pretending you're safe while you slowly waste your potential? Or do you want to step into wealth, the game of freedom, impact, and legacy? The choice is yours, and the choice you make today will echo for decades.